readers, and welcome back to my channel. So today's video is my quarterly haul and unhaul video. If you do not know, I usually post, instead of doing monthly unhauls and hauls, I do quarterly just because it's easier that way and it's less repetitive. So yeah, so these are all the books that I hauled from October, November, and December. Before 2022 happened. So I didn't end up unhauling any books. So yeah, I just hauled books, not unhauled. So that kind of sucks, but also I didn't haul as much as I usually do. I hauled, I believe, 27 books. So yeah, another thing that's going to be different is actually I have a Kindle, so I'm going to go over my Kindle books first, and then we will go from genre. So yeah, I'm also going to be explaining briefly what the synopsises are, just so you know what they're about. I hauled quite a few Kindle books. So the first book, just because I recently got my Kindle this quarter and I wanted to own all the books on my Kindle. So I got Cultish by Amanda Montel. And this book is basically a nonfiction book. We'll just start with nonfiction first. Actually, this is not going to be genre based, the Kindle books, because that'd be a little bit too hard for me. But anyways, Cultish is it's a nonfiction book about just cults in the language that they use in order to influence people to join them and to do what they say. And it's very interesting, and yeah, I did already read this, so that's good. Then I got The Beauty Myth by Naomi Wolf. And this is just another nonfiction book about just the way beauty and the beauty ideal affects women, and how it's just the patriarchy created the beauty myth, and girls being needing to wear makeup and dress in sexually appealing clothes in order to appease men. I don't know. It is very, very interesting. So yeah. And then, which I am currently in the middle of this book, so yeah, it's very interesting. And then I got On Her Knees by Brenda. I'm not sure the author name, but it's gonna be on here. So yeah. She is actually, she runs a channel called God is Grey, and although I'm not subscribed to her, I do kind of watch her videos a little bit whenever I want a good, not pick-me-up, but I don't know, just something educational about just the way sex is demonized in the Christian religion. Is off topic, but yeah, this is her memoir about how she discovered I want to say sexual liberty, or how she I don't know, her experience with dealing with people who think that sex is demonized. And yeah, if that makes any sense. But yeah. Then I got The Guy on the Right by Kate Stewart. This book is it's a fiction book. It is a contemporary romance. And I think it's from what I get, it's a contemporary romance, but it's just basically about the guy who doesn't always get to the girl because he is a geek. Yeah. And actually he ends up getting her. And then his roommate, because they're in college, he, I guess, has the eyes for his girl. If that makes sense. Yeah, I think that makes sense. But that sounds very interesting. I don't know, that's what the cover said. So I am excited to read it. And it looks like it's a dual perspective book too, so that's good. Well, I mean, yeah. And then I got Bunny by Mona Award. Mona Awad. This is basically a horror story about this clique in college, and it's like basically about this girl, and she joins the clique/cult, and strange things happen, and very excited to read that. Then I have Speak of the Devil by Joseph Pallycock. This is all about, it's a nonfiction book about how, like, Satanism, like the Satanic Temple, what they represent, and how they are using, like, being politically or active, politically and justly, I guess, to try to spread the, like, equality, religious equality and pluralism throughout the world. And I really like, just learning more about the Satanic Temple. I am not a Satanist myself, and Satanism is not bad. It is a non-theistic religion, at least as far as I'm concerned. There is some people who are Satanists who actually do worship Satan, but they are by far in the minority. But they're not evil either, so yeah. Okay, then I got A Cross Country Christmas by Courtney Walsh. This is basically a Hallmark-esque cute romance Christmas book about basically this girl who hates flights, and she is trapped in the car because she has to drive to get to her parents' house or something, and she's trapped in the car with an enemy, a person she does not like, who is going to the same area, and I think it's like enemies to lovers, and it's like free will, she's not kidnapped or anything, but yeah, I don't know, it sounds so cute. Okay, next book is The Deal by Elle Kennedy. This is a hockey romance, so it's about, I think, like, the nerd girl and the jock guy, and they fall in love, and she, like, helps him study, and then, yeah. I don't know. I've always wanted to read that. And then you'll be surprised, but I actually have Miss Peregrine's Home for Peculiar Children on this as well. Have it in book form as well as Kindle form. And it's just because, like, back in the past, Nicole, I really wanted to read that book, and I haven't discovered that I could buy it yet, I guess. I think I got it at my old job, back when we used to sell books, and for relatively cheap, and yeah, so I bought it, but back then I didn't even have a Kindle either, but I wanted to download it on my phone, and you can download the Kindle app on your phone just to try it out, and then the last book that I have is Planet Barbarians, and I'm sure you don't need me to tell you what it's about, but I will do it anyways, and it is about, basically it's a romance, erotica kind of romance between a human and an alien. I'm very interested in reading it. It is very popular on BookTube as well as on, like, I think Book Talk too. Like, it's so popular, and I want to see the hype. See why it's so hyped. Okay. Alright. Continuing on to actual physical books, I have a couple, so I will just share them with you. So, starting off with the paranormal side of things, I got Awakened by James S. Murray with Darren Wearmouth. And this book is very creepy. I've never read it, but I really want to, and it's about this, like, this newly opened subway train station in, I think, like, New York, subway line, and it's newly opened, and during the grand opening, they discover a car that is just covered in blood, and everybody's freaking out, and there is a monster underground who kills people, and honestly, that sounds amazing, and I can't wait to read this book as it slips out of my hand. But honestly, oh my gosh, like, this sounds so creepy. And then the next book that I got is actually from a Christmas present from my aunt, and I got The Hike by Drew Magary. I have already read this book before, and it was superb. I loved it. And it's basically about this guy who goes on a hike, and he gets lost, and there is strange creatures on this hike, and he has to survive that. So yeah, it's really good. Okay, and then moving on to the fantasy / science fiction shelf, I got The Blade Itself by Joe Abercrombie. And this is the first book in the First Law trilogy. I was actually influenced to read this from Mike's Book Review, which is a new booktuber that I subscribed to this year, or actually 2021, not 2022. So yeah, anyways, I'm gonna have to get used to saying that. This is about, I'm just gonna read the little synopsis. Murderous conspiracies rise to the surface. Old scores are ready to be settled, and the line between hero and villain is sharp enough to draw blood. So, I don't know, it sounds very interesting, especially after, like, Mike keeps on hyping it up. So, yeah, I do not know Mike personally, but, yeah, I don't know, I'm a subscriber of his, so, yeah. Moving on is, let's see, is my contemporary pile. So, starting off strong is The Wolf at Twilight, an Indian elder's journey through a land of ghosts and shadows by Kent Nerburn. This is actually a fictional story. I thought it was nonfiction when I first bought it, but it still sounds really good. It's just about, like, this guy who, it's like a mystery kind of, where he is, I believe, a white person, and he has to go back to the Lakota reservation because a murder or an old dog dies. So there's a murder, and it's, like, mysterious, and I don't know. It sounds interesting. I don't know if I'm gonna post this before or after my Estes Park vlog, but I ended up getting this at Estes Park, and usually it's like a tradition now to visit the bookstore down there whenever I go over there for a family gathering trip for Thanksgiving, and buy a book. So, yeah. Anyways, okay, moving on to the more romantic side of things more. I got Mary Jo Putney's Thunder Rose in Roses. This is a historical fiction basically about, like, this, like, demon earl. Not demon, he's not demonic, but, like, he is, like, a rake, and, like, he's a son of a rogue and a gypsy, and he's a notorious rake. And then, there's this girl, and she, the love interest, the girl, she is, a quiet school teacher, and, she asks the demon earl to help her save her village. Yeah, I don't know. And it sounds interesting because it's forced proximity too, so, like, he agrees, but only if she, agrees to live with him for 3 months. Yeah. So that sounds very interesting. I believe this, yes, it does have a setback. I'm new into the world of historical fiction romances, and I actually got introduced to it by, well, first Bridgerton's, but really I got introduced to it from Peace Love Books, I believe. So yeah. Very fun. I honestly love this, but anyways, okay, next book I got is Cynthia Freeman's Always and Forever. It was kind of in a romance, like, finding setback romance kick, so, at the thrift store, and I believe they were all, like, 75 cents, so, yeah. So it's, like, forced marriage. So she marries for better or for worse, and her husband is heir to New York's greatest fur empire. Yeah, and, she and he are, like, not the best, like, romance-wise, so she goes for his cousin, I believe, because he was her first and only true love. I don't know. I'm just kind of skimming through the back and just kind of telling you guys, but yeah. And then this is a setback. It kind of reminds me of the Titanic, kind of. That's why I got it, but honestly not as entertaining as the other one, and this one too. So the next one is Mary Jo Putney's Petals in the Storm. And look at the side, just a handsome hunk right there. Long, luscious hair. Yeah, and, so, okay, then there's another one about a rake, and, he goes to Paris to work with Countess Magda Jonas, the most beautiful spy in Europe. Yeah, and they also have a past where she, like, betrayed him a dozen years before, and he loved her before, and he also hates her now that she left, and, she, like, I don't know, yeah, sounds interesting. I honestly, this is the most gorgeous setback. Yeah, it's beautiful. Like, I don't know, like, I'm just, yeah. Okay, so then we have some ones that you might recognize. So I got Julia Quinn's The Viscount Who Loved Me, which is the second book in the Bridgerton series. And I really, really liked this book. It is, I believe, Anthony and Kate's story. So I believe, yeah. So basically Anthony is trying to woo Kate's sister because he wants, he needs to have like a wife, and he's just like trying to find a wife, you know, like not that interested, and then he becomes interested in Kate, but Kate is like kind of more on the not spinster line, but like she's like getting to an age where she will not, like, I don't know, she's getting too old for the balls and stuff. I don't know, but yeah, this I really loved. I actually did read this as well, and yeah, I ended up buying it because it was like half off. I think that, yeah, all the orange ones were half off, so that's pretty good, and it was even $1.50 without the discount, so yeah. Okay, Viscount, discount, okay. Then I got Julia Quinn's An Offer from a Gentleman, which is Sophie and Benedict's story. I think this is, I'm not sure which one this is. I think it might be the third one. I did really enjoy this as well. I read it before, and this is just about like, well, Sophie, she like, it's like another like Cinderella retelling, so she like has to help her evil stepmother and stepdaughters, and she can't go to the ball, but she ends up going anyways, and meets Benedict there, and romance ensues. So yeah, it's still really entertaining, and I highly recommend it. Sorry, my foot is starting to fall asleep, and I remembered why I hate filming on the floor. So if you see the camera moving, that is why. I got Anna and the French Kiss by Stephanie Perkins. This is a popular romance book, YA romance, and I haven't read it yet, so that should be interesting. I believe it is about this girl who goes to boarding school in Paris, and she's forced to go, and yeah, it just follows her life. I don't know, this kind of, I hope it's good. It is very much hyped on BookTube. I might, if I don't like it, or even like it, I might make a video about it. So, yeah, okay, continuing on. I have quite a few of my favorite authors that I hauled their books from. So starting with Nora Roberts, I have Nora Roberts' First Impressions, and this is, I believe, two short stories into one. So it's First Impressions. We're about this wealthy businessman who moves to rural Maryland, and he's posing as an out-of-work carpenter, and he has a charitable neighbor who, I don't know, piques his interest. Yeah. And then very much Hallmark. And then Blythe Images, about this small town girl who is offered a modeling job by this guy who is a handsome and charming owner and publisher of a prestigious fashion magazine. And she goes to New York City, and she, I don't know, love ensues from there. I don't know. I'm very interested on it. I'm excited to read it. Yeah. So that should be fun. Then I have Nora Roberts' Christmas Everlasting. Can you tell I was in the Christmas mood? Which is another 2-story bind-up. So this one is about a single mother who lives during the holidays, is struggling, and her neighbor, a comic book writer, offers to look after her child in the afternoons, and she accepts, and love ensues from there. And then All I Want for Christmas. Okay, so the last story was Local Hero. I completely forgot to tell you, I think. But All I Want for Christmas is about this girl who is a city girl, and she moves to a small town and to revamp the local music program. So she's a school teacher, and then some of her students, like they're like a family, and she loves them, and then she meets their brooding father, and he's a single parent too, and love ensues from there. I'm actually honestly like surprised about all the romantic Nora Roberts books I got. Okay, change of pace here. We got Stephen King. So actually, fun fact is all the 3 books I am going to show you right now I got for free. They were kind of sitting in my laundry room, like in my apartments, and it's like a communal laundry room, and they just were free. Nobody wanted them, so yeah. Anyways, the Bachman books by Stephen King, writing as Frederick Bachman. I don't know. Anyways, so it comes with Rage, The Long Walk, Road Work, and The Running Man. These kind of are like really dirty though, so yeah. Like I don't know if you can tell, but like there's like dust on them and like dirt pile on them, and it's kind of gross, but I'm still gonna read them. So I'll just tell you because I noticed that they have little synopsises. So Rage, a high school show and tell session, explodes into a nightmare of evil. The Long Walk, only death can help keep you from the finish line. In the ultimate competition of an all too near future, Road Work, what happens when one good and angry man fights back is murder, and then some. The Running Man, in the year 2025, the best men don't run for president, they run for their lives. Wow, interesting. Okay, next I have Needful Things by Stephen King, of course, and this is just about like, I don't know. Do I really need to explain what it's about? It was posed to me from Mike from Mike's book review. I'll just explain it kind of in his words about, like in Castle Rock, fictional town created by Stephen King, there's this like store that has all things, and whenever people come in, it like chooses what they need and gives it to them, and yeah, and it's spooky because it's Stephen King, so yeah. Next, I'm very excited but also kind of scared because I got It by Stephen King. I'm sure you know what it is about, but I'll just explain it. It is about, I just spit all over myself. It is about a group of kids who finds a very creepy monster that feeds on fear in their small town, and the monster murders children. And yeah, the reason why I'm kind of scared about reading it is just not because of Pennywise, the dancing clown, just because of like the ick factor of the children and them exploring their sexuality, I guess, I don't even know how old they are, but they should not be doing that when they're that young. I know they're like pretty young, but I don't know. That's the only reason why I'm scared about reading it, but I will probably read it in 2022 and tell you guys what I think. Maybe make a vlog out of it. Anyways, the last two books that I have are both got for Christmas, as well as they're both like nonfiction books. So the first one I got is Embroideries by Marjane Satrapi, and this is just about, like, you can tell it's used, like it is drawn in, but it is about just Marjane's experience. She grew up in Iran, and she basically, her experience with like sex and women, and it's just a conversation of women and women she knows talking about sex and their sex lives, I guess. So yeah, very interesting. I have read this before, but I did really enjoy it. It was in my women's literature class in college, and I really enjoyed it, so I decided that I wanted to own it. Especially after I own Persepolis by Marjane Satrapi, which is a book all about her life. And yeah, she grew up in Iran, but like she like had to move out because of the revolution and stuff and all the wars taking place there. Anyways, last book I hauled is Just Kids by Patti Smith. This book is just about Patti's experience being a kid, and let's see. Well, not... Okay, it's just about her life, I guess. Not her life, but like mainly like her in Manhattan or wherever in the city, and her experiences there as a young teen / young adult. And yeah, it's very, I don't know, I haven't read it yet, but I was told, or I was recommended it, or Living Dead Girl. She is not a booktuber, but she is one of the YouTubers that I do watch, or when she was posting YouTube. She doesn't really do it anymore, but yeah, I honestly love her channel, and I love her personality, and yeah, I just wanted to read this. Patti Smith is also a musician, but I haven't really heard any of her songs. I just honestly wanted to read this book just because, yeah. I'm sure I have heard of her songs, I just don't really remember it. But anyways, yeah, that's all the books that I hauled. So, let us talk about the stats, kind of. So, let's see. So, in the last quarter of the year, I hauled, like I said, 27 books, which is a lot. But I also unhauled 0. So, that gives me 27 still remaining. But I also read 3, which is about Viscount Who Loved Me, An Offer from a Gentleman, and Cultish. So, you know, I did pretty good. I mean, I got 24 books extra. And looking back in quarter 1, I actually had 37 extra, so I did pretty good. Quarter 2 I had 14 extra. Quarter 3 I had 18 extra. So I don't know, like pretty high, but also like I didn't really unhaul books. If I unhauled them, I probably would have, you know, had less extra. So yeah, anyways, these are a lot of fun. For these, I'm actually going to talk more about what all the books are about, so they're going to be a little bit longer than how they usually are, which they're usually still pretty long, but I hope you guys enjoy. I am just taking your guys' recommendations on if you want me to talk about what the books are about and otherwise. So yeah, anyways, okay. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you guys have a good day. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. Comment down below if you read any of these books, or if you managed to unhaul a good chunk of your collection. I would love to know. Or if you're like me and you didn't unhaul anything and just bought some books. I would love to know. Anyways, with that being said, I hope you guys have a good day, and yeah, bye. Be sure to follow my Instagram and Goodreads. I post all my updates on Instagram, as well as fun pictures, and I post everything that I'm reading currently on Goodreads. So if that's interesting to you, please follow. Link in the description.